What's up everyone, I'm Riley and you're watching Brickatecture. In this episode, we're going to make this. All the pieces here were ordered from Bricklink, so the first thing I had to do was sort them. There's about 500 parts used here. I started by laying out the shape that I wanted, keeping in mind the small blade shape I had to add in the front. There's going to be 4 layers to this, so I had to build it up with different plates. Make sure you overlap the pieces when you're doing this. I wanted to make sure I left space for the little grooves it has, so I left a 1 stud space in a couple of areas. These will be filled with tiles later. There were some areas where I had to use tiles underneath, just because I was going to use wedge plates over it and I didn't want studs on that part. Then I started filling in the grooves with tiles. I really like using tiles because it gives things a nice smooth shape, and not all Lego MOCs have studs all over them. The thing about black pieces is that it's really easy to see dust on them. So, if you want a clean, shiny look, make sure you wash them beforehand. The majority of this build is just plates and tiles, but I also used a lot of wedge plates to give it the right angles. I first built this in LEGO Digital Designer and then created instructions using a program called Blueprint. This made it a lot easier to build. I really liked the new 2x2 wedge plates, and there were a lot of them used in this build, especially on the 4 feather shapes. Then I needed to make the blade shape. I built this in 2 halves like the rest of the shield. I wanted to move this part down a plate so it would stand out from the rest of the shield. So I made those calculations in Digital Designer and then built them into the shield. At this point, it was really starting to take shape and I was super happy with it. All I had to do was figure out how to bevel it and attach it to my arm. I laid my arm on it and then figured out the 4 spots where the joints needed to be. Before I put those on, I built 2 pieces to bevel it, using jumper plates to offset it a half stud. I also made some simple Technic braces to give it stability. I put the joints on, and then for the straps, I used some Hero Factory joints. Make sure you really shape these to your arm so that they're not too loose. I connected the straps, and when I put it on, I was actually really surprised at how comfortable and stable it was. The last thing I had to do was add 2 claws on the front. This was pretty simple. Then it was finished, and I'm actually really happy how it turned out. So I think overall, I just want to say it turned out really well. I'm surprised that it's not coming off my arm. These Hero Factory joints are pretty tight and tight fit, so that's real nice. I don't have any tips about this because I think the way I did it turned out pretty nice. There were a couple things I thought wouldn't work, but they actually turned out really well. I just added a little bit of reinforcement in the back, a couple large plates, but I mean, it fits my arm. It looks really close to the prop, so just turned out really well. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I'll see you in the next video.